Sportz Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sportz Blitz Live.
Welcome into Sportz Blitz Live, everybody. Luke Robinson, along with the very famous El Toro Freeman, the former linebacker for the Auburn Tigers, won a national championship. And speaking of national championships, Alabama happened to win one last night. Did you hear about it?
Man, I watched it. It was an incredible game.
It was. Well,
and I was rooting for the Bulldogs.
Listen, I'm going to look. First of all, I've got a million stories from there. I went to the game last night. I drove in. So yesterday at 5:30, I drive from Birmingham to Ellick City, back to Birmingham at lunch, pick up my wife. We drive to Atlanta, go to the game. Then I drive back to Birmingham, get in at 2:30, drive back down here at 5:30 this morning, and here I am. So if I fall asleep on set or anything like that, you know now why that is happening. But that game, the game, I don't want people to say the game was great. I want people to say the second half was great. The first half was kind of a snoozer. Both sides, I mean, it wasn't just in Alabama, just because Alabama didn't play well. They did, and Georgia forced that. But Georgia didn't look great either. Mm-hmm. Now, the second half was classic. I mean, it was everything you want in a football game.
No question. And I just replaying that last play, knowing that the defense was in cover too, it kind of, I really don't understand why wasn't there middle run-through guy towards the middle linebacker, which the middle linebacker in cover two controls the middle of the field, which would allow the safety to play over the top of number 3, also play over the top of number 1, and would allow him to be stuck in the middle of the field. And with 3-by-1, with a 3-by-1 set, I would like to be in quarters, which meaning in cover 4.
Well, especially in 2nd and 26, right?
No question. Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of, the reason for them being in cover 2, well, they was expecting a screen play, you know. So, that bothers me, man.
I wonder, too, if any of it had to do with the fatigue of Georgia's defense. In the second half, Alabama had really surprised them with Tua Tagovailoa, and they had been doing some different things. And it's not just the physical fatigue, but I think the mental fatigue of trying to get adjusted now to dealing with what Tua can do versus what Jalen can do.
Yeah.
And I think that Georgia may have just been a little bit confused.
No question. That's a tough adjustment to make against a quarterback that playing that well, you know, on the spot. So, yeah, I agree with you totally.
But there are so many things to talk about this game, a lot of facets to it. So happy to have El Toro here tonight to talk about this, because really there was a game within a game within a game last night, and it was just unbelievable to watch. And I happened to went to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. I thought it was great. I thought the venue was awesome. And look, one of the best things about it, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but one of the best things about it, I could buy a souvenir cup, which I could refill myself for $4.
Wow.
How many places can you go? I've been to every national championship Alabama's been in since '92. And in '92, I couldn't buy a souvenir cup for $4.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I've been there. I haven't been in a facility that allows you to do that
That's
myself.
pretty cool. You can't get a souvenir cup for $4 in Bryant-Denny or Jordan-Hare.
No question.
And so, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. It was very fan-friendly. It was the only time in modern history that I've ever seen the men's bathroom line longer than the women's. I don't know if they have more women's bathrooms or what, but I thought that was a little odd, but there was not a bad seat
Probably
in the house.
that $4 fill-up.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I had so many of the $4 fill-ups, maybe I should have thought about that. That's a good point. But we're going to talk about what this means for Nick Saban's legacy. We're also going to talk about, obviously, coming up next year, because the first thing people want to talk about when college football season ends is what's going to happen next year. Nobody cherishes the moment all too terribly much anymore. We always want to know what's coming up next. So that's what we will talk about that with El Toro. Talk about the Auburn Tigers. They had they finished up with a disappointing loss against Central Florida. But it's not the worst loss in the world. We will certainly talk about that some more. We can talk basketball if you'd like to. You can give us a phone call.
Yeah, let's talk basketball.
Yeah,
I'd rather talk Auburn basketball.
I have never seen so many Auburn fans want to talk basketball.
Yeah, basketball.
So maybe since 2000, I think it is. We're also on Facebook Live, and if you have any questions or comments for El Toro, we'll be checking in there. We'll probably put some poll questions up, et cetera, et cetera. on Facebook Live, so be sure to chime in with us this evening. If you have anything you want to ask El Toro, anything you want to ask me, I don't know why you'd want to ask me anything when El Toro's here. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more of Sportz Blitz Live.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. At Main Street Family Urgent Care, we want you to know one of the benefits of our clinic. We have a self-pay option that allows you to get the most out of your visit. That means you don't have to worry about receiving a large bill after your visit. $125 covers all in-house labs, stitches, x-rays, or injections, and we have a selection of antibiotics available in the clinic. We want you to feel better fast at Main Street Family Urgent Care, open 7 days a week in Alexander City across the street from Walmart. Heal better, feel better fast.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live. Luke Robinson along with the El Toro Freeman. Reputation on the line, Brand.
No question.
Really quickly, I want to throw it out there.
Yeah.
If you go to his page, it's ROTL.
Yeah.
You can check it out on Facebook, and you can get all these various colors, and it's really cool. You got a lot of good spokespeople for your brand.
Yes,
too. Very, very cool.
I done had a lot of Crimson Tide fans reach out to me.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
you should.
so.
And look, and you'll sell to them.
Oh, no
that
question.
money's all green.
Oh, no question about it.
So I want to tell you this story about last night really quickly. It's so different with a game, especially of that magnitude, ending on the last play. You guys know about it from 2010. Wes Bynum kicks the winning field goal. But you you knew. I mean, you had to.
Right,
I don't know when you put words in your mouth, but you had to know, like, when you line up, he's going to make that, and all that's left is for us to celebrate, right?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. I can tell you this as an Alabama fan, when Papanastos trots out there, we're just hoping and praying it hits the crossbar and bounces in. That's kind of what I was hoping for.
Right.
I mean, I knew it was a 50-50 shot. It was a 39-yarder, I think, and I thought at best it's 50-50.
Do you think if it would have came down to a field goal, you think he would have hit it?
No. And in fact, I would have used J.K. Scott, who we have used this year kicking. I just trust him more. J.K. Scott is one of my favorite all-time players. He's the only punter's jersey I would ever want. But so he misses the field goal, and he misses it badly. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was both. I hope other Alabama fans get where I'm going with this. I'm not trying to pick on a college kid, but I was both so sympathetic towards him and completely disgusted by the kick at the same time as a fan. And I hate saying that because these are just, 18 to 22-year-olds out there. But, as a fan, you're so invested in this. When he missed it that badly, after everybody had done their job to get the ball down there, you're heartbroken. And at the same time, you feel for him because that was his moment.
Wow,
if he makes it, see,
he's the hero.
And as an Alabama fan, I'm remembering Wes Bynum's name, and I'm, from a 2010 game that y'all played in.
Right.
You would remember Papanastos' name.
No question.
Forever.
No question.
And instead, you remember it for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
But what I'm getting to is
I sure remember the quarterback. I tell you that.
The way the Alabama game ended, okay, with the long pass on 2nd and 26. It left the crowd completely stunned. Now, there was jubilation for a few seconds from the Alabama side, but then I think the whole stadium, and if somebody else was there and would like to chime in, feel free. I can tell you, everybody was there, mouth agape, just staring out, and you could see the Georgia players out there like, we get another shot at this, right?
Shock,
And confetti's everywhere. They're like, we got to clean this confetti up. Do you remember the movie Trading Places?
Yes.
Remember at the end when the two rich brothers, one of them had a heart attack, and the other one was like, don't worry about him. Turn those machines back on.
Right.
That's what I think Georgia was like. Turn those lights back on. Let's get the
It's not
confetti
over.
up. But it was over, and we're walking down the steps to exit, and it's shoulder to shoulder. There's so many people there. And a girl you could hear a pin drop. It was the weirdest feeling. There are people everywhere, and you could literally hear shoes shuffling. There was no Roll Tides. There was no Go Dogs anyway. Everybody was stunned. And this one girl says, this is just too quiet. And I said, yeah, it's an eerie sound. And the Georgia fan next to me said, that's the sounds of hearts breaking. Yeah. And I said, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, no question. I agree totally. I was in complete shock just watching it, man. For the game to end like that, after a sack, I thought the game was over.
I'm with you. I grabbed my coat. I
thought it was over. I thought that they'll get a good pass rush, a pass breakup, and will allow the kicker to kick from long distance. And I'm with you. I think he would have missed it again.
I do too.
Given the opportunity.
Look, I think if Alabama had snapped it from the back of the end zone to the goal line, I think he would have missed a 10-yarder. I know there's no such thing. I think he would have missed it. It's just it's like a putter with the yips. It just wasn't his night, and that's fine. I mean, it can't. All's well that ends well. But the two guys. And everybody was so concerned about Jalen after the game, and I thought Jalen handled everything brilliantly.
Oh, no question.
Man, did you see any of his interviews?
Class act guy, man.
A really, really
class act guy.
Because I'll tell you, if I were 19 years old,
and
that happened to me,
if
it happened to you,
that's tough. That's tough to handle. So
because you're a competitor,
no question. And it just shows his level of maturity. You know what I mean? It just shows what type of person he is, and what great job his parent has done with him. For a guy to be able to stay positive, stay supportive, during the biggest game of his life, and being snatched out, man, my hat goes off to Jalen.
But I thought it would have been interesting too for somebody to interview Papanastos. I have not heard an interview with him yet. Maybe somebody has. Maybe it's out there on Al Gore's internet somewhere. I just hadn't seen it. But I think it would be interesting, and maybe he doesn't want to be interviewed right now. As I'm driving home to Birmingham last night, and I'm listening to all the Sirius XM, ESPNU, et cetera, everybody talked about Jalen Hurts, and they said, if if somebody had stuck a mic in my face, I'd have been like, not right now.
Right.
That would have been the classiest thing I could have done. And he handled it the best way I thought you knew how. And he also celebrated with the team, which I thought was incredible, because I'll tell you, we talked before the show. I'm a Jalen guy. Whatever's working to win ball games.
Yes.
I went to Alabama when Gene Stallings was there, and nothing was sexy. Nothing was really all that fun. He just won a lot of ball games. And everybody wanted they always wanted the backup quarterback. They always wanted the backup running back. They always wanted, throw the ball all over the field. Well, all he was doing was winning. And I said, you better soak up the wins.
Right.
So that's what I've been with Jalen. Yeah, it's not the prettiest thing ever. But, I remember he hit Devontae Smith for the winner against Mississippi State, too.
I just think his competitive nature is just through the roof. I was at a complete shock when he was snatched, and I really thought that was going to be the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you putting in a freshman quarterback who hasn't been in this situation on this big stage. And I really thought Georgia was going to take advantage of it.
I did too.
But that sure wasn't the case. I mean, he was ready for his moment, and the future is just bright for him.
Well, you were, in 2010, you had a freshman named Michael Dyer.
Yes.
And he was not necessarily overwhelmed by the moment. What is it about certain freshmen? There had to, and you don't have to say any names, but I bet you there were some freshmen on that Auburn team that were a little awestruck by what was happening in Glendale, wasn't it?
No question. Yeah.
And so how did you, when you were warming up, could you look at Michael Dyer and say, this isn't going to faze him, and maybe look at other guys and say, this may be too big of a moment for him?
Yes. A guy like Michael Dyer, man, he always ready and prepared for the big stage. I think that due to the fact of him always being successful in football, you know what I mean, it really gives him give him that level of confidence within himself. And Michael Dyer, man, he was just always ready for the big stage. I remember, I think it was like the third game of the season. I think because Mario Fanning was the starting quarterback, starting running back. I'm sorry.
He was, yeah.
To start off the season, and I remember Malzahn making an adjustment, sticking in Michael Dyer, and he prevailed.
Yeah, he was a heck of a running back while he was there.
Oh, no question. 1,000 yards both years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up something. Mekhi Brown. If you watched the whole game, you saw Mekhi Brown for Alabama. He got an unsportsmanlike penalty against Georgia. Punching a guy in the face, really. Right. And then he almost went after a coach. What were your thoughts on that?
For Nick Saban to be able to weather that storm on the sideline, keep his team together, and come back and win the game, that's a testament to his coaching.
That's interesting.
Because man, I thought that would rattle the team. But for them to stay together, continue to drive and push themselves to a victory, man, I was at loss of words.
I'm going to tell you, they showed, we don't get obviously all the views in the stadium that you guys get at home if you're watching on TV, but they have this nice sort of surround screen in the Mercedes Dome, and they showed for a moment Mekhi Brown, sort of the little hubbub on the sideline, and my first thought was, I couldn't tell what coach he went after. Later it was confirmed, I think the director of player development or something like that. It doesn't matter which coach.
No, right.
And my first thought was they got to send him to the locker room.
Yeah, I was shocked that they put him back in the game. He ended up making a big special team play.
A huge one. In fact, it was, for all practical purposes, it was pretty impressive, especially to not grab the face mask. And I watched the replay today. He literally did just grab him by the front of the jersey and put the guy down. But it was disturbing to me. And then later on today, I did get to see somebody who had an interview with Mekhi Brown. He talked about, he said, look, all he did was apologize for 5 minutes after the game to me when he was doing this interview, and he said he just broke down into tears because he felt like he could have cost his team the game.
No question.
Doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean that I still would have said you're not going to play anymore. But Saban has coached more football than I ever will. And the other point is, I don't know that Nick knew about what was going on at that moment.
I agree with you totally. Because
as a head coach, you can't keep up with everything on the sidelines, right?
Especially a game being that tight. I do think that will be disciplinary actions.
Agree.
No question. This offseason.
I agree.
You know, and he's gonna really have to show that he want to be a Alabama Crimson Tide football player.
No, I agree. And I hope so. Because
oh yeah, that will be. I totally agree that with that.
It can be a learning experience.
No question.
You know, we live in an age, and I hope kids know, look, I'm glad they didn't have cameras around me all the time when I was his age, and you probably the same way. But if you're playing big-time football now, if you're playing specifically at a Georgia or an Alabama and in the national championship, ESPN had over 100 cameras there.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that won't get caught.
Oh, right.
You know?
Right.
And in that regard, that's something else that people have talked about, is the officiating. And there were some missed calls. I have no qualm saying I think they did miss a face mask call on DeAndre Swift when he tried to reverse his field one time. That being said, the cover of Sports Illustrated is going to have Tua Tagovailoa on it, and you can clearly see a Georgia's hand on his face mask. My point about this, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I'm a big proponent of officials are human. They're going to make errors.
Right.
You got to push on and push through.
No question.
Whatever it is, certain fan. If you're at a home stadium, the fans are going to sort of let that linger with them. But if the players let that linger with them, it's going to be a problem.
No question. I agree with you totally. I don't think the officiating was what caused the game. I think a defensive breakdown.
Agreed.
What caused the game? Because I'm willing to assure you, if it wasn't a defensive breakdown and the ball would have went Georgia way and they would have got the W, you wouldn't heard anything about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think the defensive breakdown was just totally lost the game.
And I'm also big on football is arbitrary by nature, meaning that there are so many things like when you punt the ball and like the punt sails out of bounds in the air. Have you ever noticed like an official just walks wherever they feel froggiest?
Yeah,
you could say, I didn't think it went out there, but the official just goes there and we just all accept
plays
it.
the spot.
Whenever you have a pile up, or like if it's 4th and 1 and a quarterback lunges forward, they just spot the ball wherever.
Right,
And we all deal with that. And so I think there are some arbitrary moments in football like holding calls or pass interference calls or whatever, and we all just need to accept that and deal with it.
Right.
Having said that, what about the two freshman quarterbacks? You got Jake Fromm on one side. Now he's played all year, but he has gotten a lot better, especially since that Auburn game, that first Auburn game.
Right. Yeah. The future is bright for him as well, man. I was really impressed how he was able to make plays against a strong Alabama defense consistently, and I really was surprised on how they actually ran the ball more than any other team has done on Bama.
Well, it's funny. Alabama seemed to have Nick Chubb's number, and that's where else I was going to go with this. Nick Chubb, I think, only had about 25, 26 yards on more carries than Sony Michel, and Sony Michel looked more explosive. He looked like he was hitting the corners. He looked like he had a better feel for where Alabama defenders would be. I was surprised. I felt like they gave up on Michel a little bit late in the game. And had they been able to run him a little more, taking a few more of those seconds off, and not allowed Tua Tagovailoa to be comfortable with the clock, et cetera, and make him more hurried, I think that could have made a difference.
Oh, no question. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Well, let's go ahead and take another break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sports Blitz Live.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering for even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask her for where the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937, 866-837-6937, or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
TP
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Farnell Mechanical gives you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable.
Trust Farnell Mechanical to provide perfect air for your family.
What perfect feels like. Lennox.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down, plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air, your authorized East Central Alabama train dealer. Call Advanced Heating and Air. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. Luke Robinson, along with El Toro Freeman tonight. Andy Graham is out this evening. We wish him a speedy recovery.
No question.
And so hopefully he'll be back very, very soon. Just to, I've gotten to do this show a lot with him. I'm used to him hosting everything.
Yeah.
So he prints off these great sheets. I mean, without him, I'd just be up here rambling, which I kind of do anyway. But these sheets help me. They keep me a little in check. All right, let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa for a moment. A couple of things stood out to me. First of all, the fact that his first pass on second down last night, immediately the crowd went, "Oh my goodness!" Yeah. Now it wasn't anything spectacular, but the difference between the way the ball came off his hand and the speed with which it happened was so gigantic, such a gigantic gap from what Jalen Hurts did.
No question.
Because Hurts missed, and again I've said it a million times. I love Jalen Hurts, but Calvin Ridley, who can catch a lot of balls,
and is clearly the best receiver in the country, in my opinion.
I agree. And his defender fell down,
yeah,
and Jalen Hurts still couldn't hit him. And even Kirk Herbstreit said, that's just a throw a college quarterback's got to make.
No question.
And you just got to give your guy a chance to go get it. And I'll tell you the other thing that happened when Tua comes in the game. Jalen Hurts was locked in on Calvin Ridley, and you can tell by the disparity in catches from Jalen Hurts. It goes Jalen Hurts, and then I want to say Damian Harris is our second leading receiver. That's pretty disheartening if you are a receiver and you're the number 2, 3, or 4 receiver, and you're pretty talented in your own right. And you're like, Calvin Ridley's awesome, but he's so awesome, he's getting double teamed, so why am I not getting more catches?
Right.
And so, and in this game, then when Tua comes in, all of a sudden Ruggs is an availability. Devonta Smith obviously makes a big catch. Robert Foster's making some catches. He targeted Cam Sims a few times. So it wasn't just Calvin Ridley.
And to me, it seemed like the team, didn't miss a beat when he came in. There was no sense of
in fact, I thought
worrying.
I thought it jacked him up a little.
No question. So that led me to think that, they already knew what this kid here was about. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one way to look at this. I went to Alabama's practice a couple of weeks ago. And when I was there, I saw Jalen. He was running the first team. But Tua was getting a lot of reps with the first team, an inordinate amount of reps, which made me think they're going to play him. And I thought, if you're in practice and you see one guy outperforming another in practice day in and day out, but the other guy is still starting, does that bring you down a little bit as a team? Because I do believe that at the very least, the receivers or in the offense in general they were all ready. It's not disliking Jalen thing. It's a we know we can be better thing.
Yes, I definitely believe so. When you see a competitive race and you seeing how well this quarterback makes the entire team, that definitely can bring upon frustration within the players and also within the quarterback.
Trey Day Graham says, "Is it over for Jalen Hurts? Does he transfer?" Look,
now that's a question I had asked you.
I don't think so, because here's the first thing: Alabama's got 3 quarterbacks right now. They've got Tua Tagovailoa. They've got
look like they only need one.
They got Mac Jones. Well, you know what? A few years ago, if you remember a team called Ohio State in the 2014 playoffs, they lose. Oh my gosh, who was the quarterback that was there forever? And then they had JT Barrett, who was there forever and a day. Yeah. And then, of course, Cardale Jones comes in. But no, the first one is who I'm missing, and he was he's playing receiver. Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller, okay.
Braxton Miller. So they lose him. Then they lose JT Barrett, who had taken over for him and done very well. And then they bring Cardale Jones in. You never know when you're going to need somebody to step up. Right. I mean, and the way Jalen Hurts plays, it's really a miracle he has not been hurt, because he takes punishment to the player, to the defender a lot of times. So it is kind of a miracle.
I think he also delivers punishment.
Yeah, he does deliver punishment. Yeah. But as a quarterback, you're going to take hits after you've released the ball sometimes too. So you're taking a lot of hits.
Right.
And you're not always prepared for those hits. So it is rather unique, even though he's a strong kid, that he hadn't been hurt yet. So my point being that I don't see his transferring, because I think there's still opportunity at Alabama. There's still a place for him. Everybady's already talking about moving him to H-back and safety and receiver. I don't know that he can play any of those spots. He is a quarterback. He's just not the quarterback he's a different type of quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa. If Tua had played against Clemson, who knows? Clemson's D may have been better suited to play Tua. Or if Georgia had a week to prepare for Tua, it may have been different. We don't know that. So I think there's just going to be a quarterback battle going into the spring.
I tell you, this is an example of how I think, my personal feeling, vital a coach is into a player's life. I think Lane Kiffin made all the difference in Jalen Hurts' game.
True.
And I also think last year, if Lane Kiffin would have stayed on board, I think it would have been no question you all would have won a national championship.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, so I definitely believe that Jalen Hurts his play hasn't been the same since Lane Kiffin, because I think that Lane Kiffin, he drew a play that was best for him. You know what I mean, to pass it to complete, plays that he can set up him for a run, things of that nature. And so again, I just think Lane Kiffin was the biggest difference in Jalen Hurts' game.
Yeah, I'll tell you, in a kind of a funny bit of irony, in that Lane, I think if he had a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, can you imagine the yards Tua would put up with that? Because here are the quarterbacks he worked with, and I'm not trying to cut on any of the quarterbacks he worked with, but Blake Sims, who was an incredible athlete, but he did as much damage with his feet as he did in the air. And then Jake Coker, who, again, Jake Coker had a lot of heart, and he could sling it a little bit, but he's not an all-time Alabama quarterback. And then you've got Jalen Hurts, again, better runner than passer. You put a guy like Tua in Lane Kiffin's system, Katie bar the door.
The sky's the limit. And I got to give some credit to the freshman running back, man, Harris.
Oh, yeah. Najee Harris,
yes.
When he came in the fourth, he ended up being the leading rusher for the game.
Man, Marshawn Lynch, I tell you, it was just seeing him in college all over again. I mean, he really stepped up. I was so shocked of how Alabama underclassmen, played such a big role into this win. And that just, again, that goes back to Saban. You know what I mean? That all goes back to coaching. That all goes back to development. That all goes back to it all. You know what I mean? Because, Alabama's not the only team that getting 4 and 5 star players.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Auburn gives them 2. Georgia gives them. Everybody in the country, especially within the SEC, the top schools get these 4 and 5 star guys. But I think Alabama has a great way of developing these kids to play.
And how much of it is when it comes to coaching? One thing I think people always talk about, they say Saban he's a good recruiter, not a great coach. And I say, I think y'all are missing the boat here, because one thing, if you are a great recruiter and you're bringing in a lot of 4 and 5 stars, I think the most difficult thing you do is managing egos.
Oh, no question. No question, you know. And I think he does an outstanding job, you know, with just the culture.
Yeah.
You know, and you can be a 5-star, you can be whatever, but you already know that when you sign a letter of intent to Alabama, you got to come in and compete.
Yep.
I don't care, you know, how good you were in high school. You could be the #1 player in the country. But when you come to Tuscaloosa, you already know that you got to compete for a position.
And I've seen
and it's
a
not going to be given.
change in the way high school kids view this. It used to be 15 years ago, I've followed recruiting a long time, 15, 20 years ago, kids always wanted to know, can I go there and start? Can I go there and start? And now it seems like more kids are saying, if I go there, who's going to push me?
Right.
You know, because if you don't push me, I'm not going to get better. And if I don't get better, I'm not going to get to the pros.
And, man, I'm going to tell you another thing, man. Now kids, just speaking to a few of them, when they, you know, want to go to Alabama, they willing to accept the role of them not being able to play the first year or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they have confidence within the system that these coaches are going to develop them well enough to be a big-time player and to get a shot at the NFL, and also to win a national championship.
Well, and also, if you're a running back, your shelf life is so short that I think it's better to have somebody take some pressure off of you. You know, don't get 50 carries in a game. Split your carries up, and then maybe you can last a little longer in the league. We need to get to a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with 0 down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for 0 down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
With the boat season winding down and the weather getting cooler, it's time to let Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road and winterize your boat and get ready for the off-season. The good guys can make all your off-season repairs, winterization, and upgrades easy and on budget. Remember, now's the best time for used boat prices and selection, and you can even pre-order next year's Landau pontoons and quality Suzuki outboards to get the perfect fit for next spring. Service, sales, and value all this off-season at the place the locals know, Alex City Marine. And don't forget to order your 2018 Manitou pontoons now.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Bill's Electric is your local expert for LED lighting retrofits for commercial and industrial applications. Bill's Electric can survey your facility and develop lighting retrofit solutions utilizing the latest in LED technology and controls. In many cases, energy savings alone can generate a payback of 2 years or less. Additionally, LED lighting has an expected lifespan of up to 100,000 hours. Call the Lamborns today at 256-234-4555.
This is the Big Finish event.
Don't miss the Big Finish event at Bice Motors in Alex City.
Just in time for the holidays.
Save over $13,000 on 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab with Hemi V8.
Take the short drive to big savings.
Biggest savings of the year on all new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at Bice.
Buy it at Bice.
Don't buy anywhere else until you see me. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
At A&M Plumbing, you can count on us for dependable, quality service. Our staff is professional, neat, clean, and courteous. We're a fully licensed and insured plumbing company. Call on A&M Plumbing for any plumbing, sewer, or septic problems. We provide a comprehensive line of plumbing repair and installation services to keep your home's plumbing systems in top order. When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing. Service at its best, when you need it most.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live. Following along some of the comments on Facebook Live. Jerome G. Gamble says, stop recruiting for Bama, El Toro. Hey, look, he's just trying to be, look, he's got his Auburn gear on. He's trying to be an impartial sports guy.
No question.
And then Justin Mosley chimes in with somebody bring Luke a tab. It's been a long time since I've had a tab, but, you know, I remember him fondly. And that back in the day, that was the only diet thing you could have was a tab.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the scarf lives down, too. I've been on diet drinks a long time. So, all right, what now? What do you think this means for Nick Saban's legacy? The fact that he won this championship, he's got 6 total, including the one with LSU, ties him with Bear Bryant. He's got 5 at Alabama. No other active coach has more than 3 right now. What is your take on Saban? Where does he fall in the list of great coaches in college football history?
I think he falls nowhere less than the top of college coaching. The things that he has been able to do to the Alabama program is absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? And just that game last night, with him able to calm the storm, you know, throughout that whole game and come back to win the game, that's a testament to his coaching.
So, did he look like to you a guy that is on the verge of maybe hanging it up sometime soon?
No.
He didn't to me. I'll tell you.
No.
I was a little worried at halftime. I was thinking, if I were him and it's 13-0 and this thing gets out of hand, I may say, guys, this has been real. I've got a lot of money. I've got a couple of Mercedes dealerships. I'm out of here.
I think he's so competitive as a coach that he looks forward to the next challenge, you know. And I think that he has done an awesome job with his assistants. And if you notice, all of his assistants goes on to get head coaching jobs or, you know, things of that nature. So I think he does a great job of putting the coaches in place in order to carry the team and allow the team to be good.
If you want to be a head coach, you should take a job with Alabama. Now, the positive for Alabama is that means a lot of guys want to be there. The negative for Alabama is a lot of guys want to poach him. Jeremy Pruitt is headed to Tennessee. And the other thing that being a part of the Nick Saban coaching tree does now is it's going to get you a lot of money. You're going to get paid. And the way coaches get paid right now, there's no better job than being a college football coach. Because if you get fired, you get paid. If you're successful, you get paid. I mean, it's win-win.
I think every coach that coaches under Nick Saban feels good about their future, just the same as an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, they feel good about their future, being able to go on to play at the next level. And I think that Nick Saban coaching, also coaching prep with the coaches, will mold them to go on to be a head coach one day. So I think every part that's in the Alabama organization are all excited.
Well, let's talk about the final AP standings. Alabama ends up number 1, of course, and they get, I want to say it was 57 votes, and then UCF, they get 4 votes. There was a big push to get UCF some votes because they were undefeated.
I got to ask you a question. I'm sorry to cut you
off. No, I want to hear it.
How do you feel about UCF claiming the national championship?
Honestly. No, it does not bother me. I think that it's fine if they want to do that. I think the world knows differently now. Now, they want to compare that to, say, Alabama's claiming the 1941 championship. Let me go on a little tirade about that for a second. I don't want to claim the 1941 championship as an Alabama fan. I'm like, don't even, y'all, it delegitimizes the other championships we have, okay? So I'm fine. But in 1941, there was no way to do it. There was no playoff. There was no BCS. It was just a free-for-all of different organizations picking national championships. So I can at least rationalize that. Now, UCF, because you went undefeated, does not mean you are a national champion.
Yeah, that's totally correct.
They don't play. You know this. In 2010, if I remember right, y'all had to play a Kentucky team on the road that wasn't exactly very good, but they're in the SEC.
Yeah, and
it's on the road in the SEC.
Yep.
You go on the road in this league, you better bring a chin strap.
It's a challenge.
It's not the same playing in their conference.
And I see if they would have beat the number 1 team in the country and then, want to claim a national championship. But and I totally hate that, we wasn't ready to play this game.
But El Toro, you know this. It's not the same. You've got ready for a bowl game, a regular bowl game, and you've gotten ready for a national championship. It's not the same, right?
It's not, but at the same time, I think that's when senior leadership is vital because it's their last game.
True.
You know what I mean? It's their last game that they will ever suit up.
But there's two ways to look at that. Okay, if you're a senior that's going pro, you might look at it like, I don't want to get hurt. If you're a senior that's never going to play again, look, as a fan that never played college football, I mean, I look over there and go, man, I'd do anything if I could have gotten out there for one play just to, have that Rudy moment. But what I'm not doing is thinking about a guy who was the linebacker for Notre Dame that got hurt a few years ago. Remember playing in the Fiesta Bowl? And he was going to be a top 3 pick.
He's now playing with Dallas.
He's in the NFL, but he cost him a lot of money.
Yeah.
And man,
but look, if that's the case, then don't play.
I know.
Don't like just go on to the NFL. Like,
I got you.
Don't play. Don't bring
and I'm fine with
that type of energy. Yeah, I'm fine with it too. But don't bring the type of energy to the field because that's not right for the fans.
I agree.
That's not right for the players. You know what I mean? So I mean,
I'm caught in the middle here because I'll tell you, I used to be just for the love of the game guy. But there is another way. The NFL has so much money now, El Toro.
It's a business,
if you've got somebody, it's a generational. It changes the whole family dynamic for people. Now you got to manage your money right, but it changes your whole family tree.
No question.
And so I don't want anybody to cost them. So what I would like to see is if there's some kind of insurance policy for some of these guys.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know how to make it work. I'm just saying because I love football. I don't want football to change much more than it already has. I'm also a big old school guy. I'm so old school that I'm okay with taking replay out of this whole thing. Because I'll tell you.
Really?
I'll tell you why. Because we have picked and chosen what to replay and what not to replay. And because we have so many cameras everywhere, everybody can nitpick every play. I was talking about arbitrary spots. Or, for example, Mecole Hardman. You could make the case that his heel was out of bounds last night when he got away from Tony Brown on that long touchdown. But you could also make the case it wasn't. And so what I'm saying is there's still human error in the game. Let's just let it all be human error again. And everybody says, well, let's just get the play right. For instance, Georgia on the offsides penalty on the block punt. When I was watching it live, I thought he was offsides. I sided with the ref. When I saw it again today, I thought he probably wasn't offsides. And so Alabama caught a break, but they don't review that.
Right.
Why not? They should have reviewed it. Even though it would have hurt Alabama, I'm like, that's a play. If you're going to have review, fix that.
Right.
I agree. I don't like that we only review certain things at certain times and yada, 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 and it costs you a timeout or it doesn't. I mean, let's just not have it, and let's just all admit, let's put another referee on the field, and let's all admit this game's going to have human, just like a quarterback throwing an interception, just like a defensive lineman missing a tackle, this game's going to have human error from the officials too.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to get to a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
At Chicken Salad Chick, we understand the holidays can get hectic. That's why we've got your holiday party needs wrapped up with a pretty bow on top. From takeout to full service, we cater to any crowd this holiday season. Grab your favorite quick chicks or side items to go, or please your guests with a chicken salad sandwich platter, pimento cheese jingle ball, or pumpkin cheesecake. We believe you should focus on making the memories while you let Chicken Salad Chick make the food. Now go enjoy it. Chicken Salad Chick, born in Alabama and serving the best chicken salad around.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
What's different about Hyundai of Auburn? Beautiful cars built here from parts made here. That's jobs and tax money.
And right now, Max, record low finance plans. 0% interest and $42.50 cash to spend with no budget busting repairs for a full 10 years. Drive a new Hyundai today. Check it out, HyundaiofAuburn.com.
And my Max Markdown deals. Tell them Max sent you. I might get a bonus.
Max, you're not real.
What?
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live. We're on Facebook Live. Luke Robinson and El Toro Freeman. Jason Cromer chimes in with, I think this drives Saban to stay longer. His comment was, this is the happiest moment of his life, and he lives for that high. You know, and that's a good point. I'll tell you, Nick Saban actually cried. Did you see that? He cried a little bit at this thing. So, and that's where another thing where I thought Tua's coming into this game and sort of the youth movement of this Alabama team. Sometimes you have your special senior moments. You know, you have a team full of seniors, like everybody's so proud of all of them. And then sometimes you have those youngsters come in and like all you can think about is how wonderful the future's going to be. And I think that's what Saban was about.
Yes,
you know?
I definitely agree.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about next year. So Auburn finishes up 10-4. They give Gus Malzahn the big contract. I think they had to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way around it.
Right.
If they didn't do it, Arkansas was going to do it.
No question.
And you can say, well, we could have let him go. Who are you going to get?
Right.
And some people hate that argument, but I think it's very valid.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a good backup plan, you better keep the one you got.
I personally think all of this is be a lesson learned. I think that Malzahn is going to be successful, but due to the fact that he has the position coaches in the right position to help lead the Auburn University football team.
And it'll help that I don't think they're losing any assistants, are they?
No, and that's big. You know, we got you got the defensive coordinator coming back, who was the defensive coordinator of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got
Lindsey,
who will be a year up under within the system. And I think we're doing a great job of recruiting. And so I think that this offseason, the two losses, back-to-back losses, will lit a fire under each and every player backside, and it will motivate them to have a successful year.
Jarrett Stidham will be coming back for Auburn. It's been announced recently. Big positive?
Yeah, huge positive, yes.
What about the running back situation? Cam Martin, you know, when he gets in there, it seems like he's liable to pop off a few big runs. But the only thing I can surmise, the reason he didn't get as much playing time, is that he's not a great pass blocker. That's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not really too much concerned with the running backs due to the fact that I know since I've been there, 2009, we have kept a 1,000-yard back. So I think the coaches are doing a great job. The running back coach is doing a great job of developing these running backs. I think that it was very vital that he had got some playing time this season, and I think that his weaknesses, he would definitely build upon those this offseason, get bigger, faster, and stronger. You know what I mean? And really buckle down on the things that he needs to correct. And I think they'll correct them because I think we just got good assistant coaches to help get that done.
And look, this is a total side note, not a jab at Auburn or anything. I think one of the most overrated stats in college football today is did you have a 1,000-yard rusher or not? And the reason is all teams are playing 13, 14, or 15 games now. When you used to run for 1,000 yards in Bo Jackson's day,
that was huge,
something because you were averaging 100 and something yards a game. Now you can average 80 yards a game and have 1,000 yards. And so I think it's a little bit diminished, but that's a total side note. Auburn starts out in all these way too early polls, but we all love to rank everything. So they start out number 12 in ESPN's top 25 for next year. What do you think about that?
I think that's fair. I think that once again, I think that standing right there will motivate us to be within the top 10 and also the top 5. So I think that's fair.
Auburn's first opponent, Washington, they start out at number 8.
Yeah.
So Auburn will have played their last 3 games in Atlanta at the Mercedes Dome.
I'm starting not to like that dome, man. I like the old.
Have you been to any of the games?
I haven't been to the new one.
Well, it's cool. You need to go to Washington game.
They'll give me a $4 fill up.
Go get you a $4 fill. Look, Auburn will get you a pass, and I'll get you the souvenir cup. All right, that's cool. Auburn starts out 12. Alabama starts out 1. Clemson starts out 2. Ohio State 3. A lot of the usual suspects. They got Oklahoma at 4. And did they not tell them that the Heisman Trophy's graduated?
I know, huh?
It seems a little high without. I wanted to say Sam Bradford.
Especially with the defense they have.
Yeah, the defense was pretty porous.
Yeah.
And then they've got Georgia at 5, which I got to say, I think that's a little low. You give me.
No question.
I could make the argument.
They do have a lot of seniors leaving on. But
Lorenzo Carter's gone. Roquan Smith's gone. I think
both of the running backs.
Both the running backs are gone, but look, they got Swift coming back.
Yeah.
They've got Elijah Holyfield, who we didn't see in this game, but he's still pretty good. And then they've got Zamir White, who is number 1 running back in the country, committed to.
Yeah, I just about to say they got one heck of a recruit.
You know who else
class.
they've got? They've got Dalvin Cook's brother coming in, James Cook, I believe it is, and he just was a star in the was it the Army All-American or the Under Armour All-American? He was good.
Yeah, and they got Fromm.
Yeah, and they got Jake Fromm, who's you know what? And there were times last night. He's got a little bit of Jarrett Stidham in him, where he's not a runner, but he can run.
Yeah, he can keep chaining.
Yeah, he can. If he had to, he can run. So that's interesting. They got Wisconsin at 6. I think Wisconsin seems to have the same. I think they have the same guys every year.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever graduate from there? They look like the exact same team. Miami at 7. I think that may be a little high. I think Miami is going to they open up with LSU next year.
Oh, wow.
In Dallas.
Wow.
The SEC's got some pretty sexy matchups to start the season out. Auburn, Washington, and Atlanta. Alabama, Louisville, and Orlando. Now, that one's had a little bit of the shine taken off because guess
with
what?
the departure of
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's out of here. Yeah. That's a problem for
Big
Louisville.
problem.
But they've got a guy named Juwan Pass, who Alabama recruited very hard. He's out of the Columbus, Georgia area.
And what, he's quarterback?
Mm-hmm. He's pretty good. But, he's not Lamar Jackson. That's the problem. Clemson takes on Texas A&M next year. They travel to A&M. How about that for his first game for Jimbo Fisher?
Oh, man. That's exciting.
Yeah. He's played Clemson every year at Florida State. Now he opens up with him. That's going to be interesting. I mentioned LSU, Miami. Florida Atlantic and Lane Kiffin travel to Oklahoma, I think, first game of the year.
What you think?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think Lane Kiffin's going to give them fit because they got holes.
Ain't no question.
But I think that their holes are better exploited versus the run. That doesn't mean Lane Kiffin's team can't run. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about a whole lot about Florida Atlantic except Lane Kiffin, though. But I think they'll give Oklahoma some fits. It'll be one of those, 55-40 games Oklahoma wins.
Upset alert?
I don't know. Let's not go that far. I got some time. Let me look into Florida Atlantic a little bit. And then Tennessee and West Virginia. I guess they're going to have $4 moonshine. That's the only thing I can figure out.
Now, is Will Griff coming back?
Will Greer?
Greer,
Will Greer is coming back, I believe.
Okay.
I believe he'll be back for West Virginia. And then so Jeremy Pruitt opens up. Wow, that'll be an interesting game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's going to be interesting to see how patient Tennessee fans are with Pritchard, because they're going to need to give him some time to get his recruits in there.
I tell you one thing, they got a football player in J.J. Peterson.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Oh, my.
Have you seen him play?
What? Man, he is electrifying.
Yeah.
You hear me? So they definitely got a stud right there. And they can keep building upon that. Whoa.
And that, you talk about Alabama and losing assistants. J.J. Peterson had been silently committed to Alabama for a long time because of Pruitt.
Yeah.
And then Pruitt moves to Tennessee. He hadn't even visited Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he's already committed there. That's how much he loved Jeremy Pruitt. So we need to go ahead and take another break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457. What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold, and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Glenwood High School.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live. He's El Toro Freeman, and I'm exhausted, but I think I'm going to trudge through this hour and then go home and go right to bed. I was in Atlanta last night for the championship game, and it was a lot of fun. And El Toro, I've just got this attitude of I don't know if I'll ever see a run like I don't know if any of us will see a run like this again. And if I missed a game this big, it would make me mad. Like if I'd missed that last night because I was just like, I'm too tired, I'd be mad at myself.
Oh yeah, because it was such a thriller.
Yeah, you gotta ride these waves when they come, because we're not too far removed from the three Mikes. Your Mike Duboses, your Mike Shulas, and your Mike Prices. So now we got to.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Mike,
I lived through those times too.
Pretty tough, huh?
Oh, it's brutal. I'm telling you, it was. I remember standing in that sleety Bryant-Denny Stadium the first time Auburn comes into Tuscaloosa, and God knows how long, in 2000, and Auburn beats us 9-0, and I was just standing there, and all the rain and it wasn't even sleet, it wasn't even snow, it wasn't really rain. It was all just cold terribleness, just dropping down on you. And I remember being in the fourth quarter thinking, just what have I done with my life?
Yeah.
I've made some really bad decisions to get where I am right now. Let's go ahead and go into the players of the week. El Toro, let's start off with the Lee Marketing Group River Region Player of the Week, and that's Kowaliga Smoke from Wetumpka High School. This is one of my favorite players. Best name in the history of high school football. Do you know a better one? Kowaliga Smoke?
I do not know a better one.
If your name's Kowaliga Smoke, you're going to be cool at whatever you do.
No question.
You got to be cool.
No question.
Like, nobody's going to be a nerdy Kowaliga Smoke, right? Okay. He finished with 1,287 rushing yards and 24 touchdowns for the Class 6A runner-up, Wetumpka Indians, and was named to the AL.com Super All-State football team.
All right, we got Lyman Ward Military Academy, Sportz Blitz Player of the Week, Kaleem Bonds out of Glenwood High School. The senior running back was a first-team All-ASA selection by the ASWA.
Now, the Lee Apparel and Promotional Products East Alabama Player of the Week is Justin Ross from Central of Phoenix City. The state's #1 ranked recruit finished with 37 catches for 730 yards and 13 touchdowns. His final catch went for a touchdown in overtime in semifinal playoff loss to McGill-Tulane. He finished his career as AL.com Super All-State selection. He also returned several punts for touchdowns this year.
All right, we got the Russell Building Supply, Russell Do-It Center, Sportz Blitz, AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week, Tommy Moore out of Lindsay Lane School. He's averaging 41.1 points per game, highest in the nation among teams that post stats on Max Prep, while leading the Lions to a 19-1 record and a #3 ranking in Class 1A.
The Concrete Talladega County Player of the Week is Cameron Borden from Winterboro. The senior defensive back was a first-team Class 1A selection by the ASWA.
Quinn Harrison with the Interlink Mortgage Service, Sportz Blitz Lee County Player of the Week, Muhammad Dabute. Out of Auburn High School, the junior was selected to the AL.com Super All-State team after finishing with 82 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, and 10 sacks.
Finally, the Sign Source Lake Martin Player of the Week is Eric Shaw from Reeltown. He scored 35 points and added 20 rebounds as the Rebels held on to defeat Horseshoe Bend 73-66. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's one of those. That's one of those games you cut the stats out of the newspaper and you put that in the scrapbook.
No question.
Maybe I can just give him this.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Send it off to him.
So we've been talking about games for next year. What is your overall outlook for Auburn next year? Let's not get crazy. I know what would you deem successful? I mean, 15-0, of course. But where do you think Gus Malzahn needs to have this team? What's the minimum number of victories he needs to have for the fan base to feel comfortable next year? Given now they open up with Washington, who's going to start out in the top 10. They're going to have to travel to Georgia and travel to Alabama.
Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We don't expect anything less than a national championship. The same way you all feel at Alabama, But I do expect for the Auburn Tigers to respond.
Yeah.
After losing the last 2 games of the season in the fashion that they did, I'm looking forward to seeing them respond. Like I said, I think the assistant coaches are great, and I think that they will. I think that they will.
You think it's a 10-win type of team?
Well, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't expect anything less than a national championship.
15-0.
Yeah, I want a national championship.
Yeah. I like it.
Alabama can have one. Why can't we?
You've already gotten one.
I tell you what.
You got the ring.
How you feel about
Alabama?
Alabama.
I'll tell you.
Be honest with me now.
I'm going to tell you. This
honest.
is what I think. I think Alabama's going to go 14-1 because that's kind of what they always do. They went 13-1 this year because we didn't play in the SEC championship game. I think Alabama will go 14-1.
But go 14-1, which would allow them to do what? Play in the playoff, and then do what?
winning that shit.
Oh, see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? I think Auburn have something to say about that.
I think you will too.
Yeah.
I think you will. It's certainly.
And we going to their place.
You are going to Tuscaloosa. You've had some success there.
No question.
You've had some success. You personally. I remember 2010 so vividly. Like not just necessarily the comeback per se, but I remember you and Cam together talking after there was a good video. I think maybe the CBS crew got it or something. You kind of had your arms around each other and really both just smiles that lit up the night.
Well, you know, at halftime we got into it.
You and Cam did?
Oh man, we got into it
What
real
happened?
bad. You know, Cam was just speaking upon. He knew the right person to trigger to, which was me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he comes in the locker room and he's just going off, you know, about the energy and this and that and this, and he just calls me out, El Toro Freeman. You know what I mean? And so I stands up and we get nose to nose and
really,
you know, oh yeah. And so luckily though, you know, it didn't come to blows and anything like that. But all of my frustration or whatever turned towards the defense, and all of his turned towards the offense. And so that's why it was so cool that you spoken about that you're speaking upon that, because, you know, when we was hugging, the thing that he said to my ear, he was like, Toro, I knew you was the guy that was going to get the defense going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Taking you out of – all right, well, first of all, if things had come to blows, who wins?
Oh, no question, El Toro Freeman. Shoot.
He doesn't want none, does he?
Hey, no. I'm from Alex City, man. I'm built by Benjamin Russell. You hear me?
All right, take you out of the equation on that defense. That defense had some pretty salty characters.
Oh, no question.
Who was the one you'd say, okay, I don't want to mess with that guy?
I really didn't look at no one like that.
Okay.
I mean, not saying that, you know.
And conversely, I look at all of them and say, I don't want any of them. But, all right, who's the one guy you'd say, all right, let's say you're walking alone in a dark alley, you got to have somebody with you. On that defense, who would it have been?
Nick Fairley.
Nick Fairley, yeah.
Darren Bates.
That's an easy answer. Darren Bates is a good answer.
Darren Bates. Nico Thorpe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A competitor.
Yeah.
Flat out. And that's why he lasting so long in the NFL right
He's
now.
still there?
Yes. Yeah, with the Seattle Seahawks. Outright competitor, you know. At times didn't have the best games, but for a work ethic standpoint, and you relying on someone not to give up, not to quit on you, Nico Thorpe is the guy. No question about it. And also Sharvin Bell.
Yeah, he had the big sack on McElroy that game, didn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another guy, man. I really can call all of them out. Michael Goggins, and as well as Craig Stevens.
Okay. Craig Stevens, that was a guy. Yeah. Now, that was a guy that had a lot of stars coming into Auburn.
Craig
and
Stevens.
Took him a while. It took him a little while to get, but once he got it going, he was pretty doggone good.
But if I'm going in the alley to fight, though, I got to take Darren Bates and Jonathan Evans. If I'm going in the alley to fight.
Yeah.
Because they scrappy.
But you probably don't need them anyway, do you?
No.
You're probably all right.
I'm good.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown, and imperfect. Waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
This is the Big Finish event.
Don't miss the Big Finish event at Bice Motors in Alex City.
Just in time for the holidays.
Save over $13,000 on 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab with Hemi V8.
Take the short drive to big savings.
Biggest savings of the year on all new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at Bice.
Buy it at Bice.
Don't buy anywhere else until you see me. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Welcome back in to Sportz Blitz Live. One thing that should be noted, a couple things. First of all, Alabama won in basketball tonight, 76-62 over South Carolina, so they get off the schneid. They had lost a couple of road games, one to Vandy and one to Georgia here recently, and just looked very sloppy doing it. But they do get a win tonight. Now they got to go to LSU, and then they welcome Auburn in next Wednesday. That'll be a huge game. Yeah. Also, Drew Lock from Missouri has announced he's returning to school.
Huge.
And I think that's huge. And I also think it's huge for the SEC in general. Now, you look at the quarterbacks around the league. You're going to have Jake Fromm, who's, I would think he's probably going to start off as the favorite to be SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Now, you know, they just got the number 1 player in the country, that quarterback.
But like you Justin
say,
Fields.
Yeah, I think Jake Fromm.
Look, what's going to happen? Jacob Eason's pretty much gone to Washington. That's Jacob Eason's going to transfer to Washington. It looks like. Okay. And so, but now you asked me to look up their depth chart to see who all is leaving, and so at running back, of course, they lose their two top guys. But you know, it's going to be Jake Fromm and Justin Fields, and it looks like that's their depth chart. If Jacob Eason leaves and Bryce Ramsey is a graduate, those are their two guys. Yeah. That's it. Sony Michel obviously leaving. They're losing Javon Wims. I did not know he's a senior.
Oh, wow.
At wide receiver. Terry Godwin's a junior, but I would suspect he's going to be back. They do bring back Riley Ridley, who had a good game against Alabama.
Stud.
Yeah, he looks strong.
Yeah, man, he's a stud.
Isaiah Wynn and Deshaun Sims at left tackle are both gone. Then I see a bunch of juniors along the line and maybe some younger guys. So their offensive line is going to be pretty intact. Now, Jeb Blazevich is a senior. He's listed as a senior. Trent Thompson is a junior. He could go pro.
He could go pro.
So, yeah, Georgia's losing some folks. Jonathan Ledbetter is a junior. He could go pro. That was a guy at one time who was committed to Alabama. Lorenzo Carter is a senior. Yeah. And Devin Bellamy, who had a great game last night, he's probably gone. Reggie Carter will be gone, as well as Roquan Smith, who, well, he's only a junior, but, I mean, I don't think anybody suspects he's going to stay. And Malcolm Parrish, he's also gone. So Georgia loses some folks, but, man, they're bringing in – they've still got some slots left, and most of the people being talked about for those slots are either high 4-star or 5-star guys. So Georgia's going to probably finish with the number 1 class in the country, and I think that they're going to be strong. But going back to Drew Lock, my point being – Drew Lock, who was first-team All-SEC this year, Jarrett Stidham, who was second-team All-SEC, and then you've got Tua Tagovailoa / Jalen Hurts at Alabama. You already mentioned Drew Lock. Jake Fromm, of course, will be in the mix. I think the league as a whole, quarterback-wise, will be better, which will mean the league will be better. If you have good quarterbacks in your league, it makes the whole league better. So I think the SEC overall is going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah, no question. And I think just bring him – what a turnaround they had.
Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about a coach
Man.
that didn't get enough credit because you talk about somebody that could have lost that whole squad.
Oh, no question.
That university, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Not just the football program, the social unrest on the campus. It's hard to keep all that stuff, keep your team focused with all that. Then all the stuff with, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. The guy who came out whatever.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I got you.
And then so Missouri to go for all that, and I'm not saying whatever your thoughts are on that, they are what they are.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you, as a team, you had to deal with that. You know,
Sam, is it Sam?
Man, I'm running on fumes, and I mean, there's no way I'm going to remember it. But somebody will chime in here and tell us in a minute. But Justin Mosley tells us that 7 defensive starters are seniors and 2 are draft eligible. They will probably lose 9 defensive starters. That, you know, okay, they may lose 9 defensive starters, and that could easily happen. I still think Georgia's going to be pretty doggone strong.
Oh, yeah, especially with their recruiting class.
Yeah, and now here's the thing: Georgia picks up in the West next year. They pick up LSU.
Oh.
So and they travel to Baton Rouge.
Oh.
Now
is it a night game?
That we wouldn't know that yet.
Okay.
But that's an interesting game to say the least.
Yeah.
Because now their 2 West opponents are Auburn and LSU. Mm-hmm. You know, 2 of the top 3 teams in the West Division, along with all these other East teams that have bulked up their coaching. I mean, Tennessee is going to be better coached because they can't be coached any worse.
Right.
Florida with Dan Mullen is going to be coached better.
No question.
Don't you think?
Oh, no question. Just hearing stories about him, Cam telling stories about Dan Mullen and how great of a recruiter he is, man. It was just amazing. So I think he's definitely going to bring back the fire that the Florida fans may thought or think they have lost. I think he's definitely going to bring it back.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's another reason that I went to the game last night, despite all the traffic and travel, because you look over there. It wasn't that long ago that Florida was king of the SEC, king of the college football world.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, it's nothing but Will Muschamp's debacles, and then McElwain comes in. You don't know what's going on. I mean, and they're winning the East, but they're so ugly.
I thought he was a good fit though.
It was a little odd.
Yeah.
It was a little odd for sure. But
for that program, you know.
I'm trying to find Georgia Bulldog. Here it is, Georgia's schedule for next year. And I mean, look, I think everybody's so high on Georgia right now, and they probably should be, but they open up with Austin Peay, and then they're at South Carolina game 2, Middle Tennessee game 3, at Missouri, Tennessee, Vandy at LSU, Florida at Kentucky, Auburn at home, UMass at home, and then Georgia Tech at home. Wow.
That South Carolina game can be pretty competitive.
That's going to be the game South Carolina needs to win if they're going to be taken seriously. But I think it's going to be very tough for South Carolina.
Is it at South Carolina?
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Georgia. This year Georgia played Notre Dame, and usually that's a home and home. But Notre Dame's not making the return trip till next year. Mm-hmm. So Georgia doesn't really have a sexy non-conference game outside of Georgia Tech, and I would hardly call that a sexy non-conference game right now.
I'm just tell you, man, that quarterback from Opelika, who was the starting quarterback for South Carolina, Bentley,
Jake Bentley, yeah.
He's something to deal with, man.
Yeah, I like. Well, that's one guy I left off talking about good quarterbacks.
Yeah, man.
He gave Michigan fits.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed out on him.
I know how, because his dad got a job with Will Muschamp. I think he's the offensive coordinator.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, I mean, and he also graduated a year early.
Okay.
You know, he should have been a senior. Well, I think it was 2 years ago, because he's been there 2 years now, right now. So yeah, he should have been a senior 2 years ago. Instead, he was starting in the SEC.
Yeah, I like him, man.
Yeah,
I like him. I actually watched that entire game against Michigan. I like him.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a lot more fun to watch. But eventually, they got to win one of these games. Yeah, some of these guys that we always say are so dangerous.
That bowl game was big for them to win. I'll tell you that.
Auburn basketball is about to tip off against Ole Miss, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go to a break. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. We'll be back
Bruce Pearl,
with more of Sportz Blitz Live.
Now
Now's the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
LMG Advertising Agency offers a comprehensive marketing solution tailored to each of our clients' needs. We are a full-service marketing firm offering website design and development, video production, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and overall branding that includes logo design, brochures, mailouts, and more. Our experienced team of marketing professionals would love to come up with a marketing strategy that will deliver results for you and your business. Learn more at lmgadagency.com or call today to start at 256-825-0197.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Peaches and Clean, caring for your floors and a whole lot more in East Central Alabama.
Welcome back into Sports Blitz Live. Luke Robinson, El Toro Freeman. We were about to jump into a little basketball talk, but El Toro, this is one thing. I'm an Alabama basketball guy. I've always have been. When I was there, it was the Robert Horry days and Latrell Sprewells, et cetera. I mean, we had some good teams. Alabama certainly has seen better days. Now they've got some good players now, and they won tonight, and all that's fine and dandy. And Auburn's back in the top 25. But this is my deal with college basketball, and this is why I don't want the playoffs to expand. College basketball, you don't even have to pay attention yet. You just don't. I mean, and I know diehard college basketball fans, of which I consider myself on the fence of being one, will differ with me, but you don't. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it at all right now. Just start paying attention. You give it about a month, and then you can dive right into it, and you can be caught up, and everything's fine. I want college football to every Saturday to matter like it always does. You expand these playoffs too much, and all of a sudden you devalue things, and then next thing you know, coaches are sitting out guys who are going to play in the Iron Bowl, and I never want to get to a day when we have that happen. You know what I mean? Right. I want guys like Ronnie Lott ripping off his finger to play in the Super Bowl. That's of course, it's not my finger, so easy for me to say. But Auburn is in the top 25, and they're in the top for the first time in a long time. The Bruce Pearl thing, you want to talk about weather and storms. He has, and look,
talk to me, Luke.
Let me tell you, okay, one thing I told Andy up here, and when Alabama, they got a good recruiting class, and Colin Sexton's good, and I said, you know, when I look at Alabama, I look at them and I say, those are good basketball players, but they're not really dudes. You know, they're not built. When I watch Auburn play, I think they're dudes who are good basketball players. Yeah. You know, they're dudes first. They get after you. They play defense. They hustle. They're a very impressive team, and they've been an impressive team this whole time. I know they got a loss to Temple, but they look stronger. Yeah. They look fiery. And I think the one thing about Auburn that has pushed them, and this is when Auburn's always most dangerous to me, when they don't have an Austin Wiley. Like Alabama's depending so much on Colin Sexton, it's like Colin Sexton and the Sextonettes. Auburn's got Bryce Brown can kill you from deep. Davion Mitchell's pretty strong. Jared Harper, he might be the best point guard in the SEC right now. I like the looks of this Auburn team.
Oh, no question. I think it's a testament of Bruce Pearl, you know, his hard work and dedication to the program. You know, another thing, and just to piggyback on what you said as far as, you know, being able to weather the storm, I think that's huge with all the distraction that has taken place at the university with the basketball program. Bruce Pearl has definitely weathered that storm, and he's being successful within it. So,
can you tell anybody anything what's going? I mean, there's literally no leakage of information that I've been able to discern anywhere on the interwebs about what is actually happening with Austin Wiley and Purifoy, and when or if they will be back with the team.
I don't know anything, man. Like you said, I haven't heard anything leak out, and I'm around the campus a lot.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let's look at it another way. One thought I had was, what if Austin Wiley does come back? Now, you say you don't ever want to turn down a 5-star, and he's a big man, yada yada yada. But, you know, one thing I think that gets overlooked is how would that affect team chemistry? Because if he comes in and plays, somebody's minutes are going to get eaten up. Right. Now, that's somebody who's used to getting those minutes, and then all of a sudden you could have a domino effect. I'm not saying that it's certainly going to be disaster if Austin Wiley comes back. Don't misread me. I'm just saying from a player's perspective, if you're the guy who gets his minutes eaten up, could that affect team chemistry?
No question, you know, especially since they're having such success without him. You know what I mean? You stick a guy, even though he's a dominant player, of course, but you bring a guy back like that, I think it definitely can mess up the chemistry because, you know, I think they're doing so well without him.
Have you been to a game this year?
I haven't, but since football season is over,
yeah, it's time.
I definitely be taking part in some games.
Do you go over to football practice a lot?
Yeah.
You try to go over there a lot?
Uh-huh.
Did you go over there for bowl practice any?
Yes.
One thing that, let's just jump back to football for a minute because I think we can both say, look, I'm not going to pretend that I know as much about basketball as I do about football right now. So when they were going through bowl practice, did you have any inkling that Auburn might not be on top of their game coming into this USC?
No, that's why I was shocked to hear that. You know, players saying that they just wasn't, you know, just excited about the game, or it was hard for them to get up for the game, because I think they had some very competitive practices, and I think that especially on the offensive side of the ball, so it was a total shock that they came out, you know, and responded in the way they did. But I thought that clearly at halftime, them coming out of halftime and scoring right away, I thought that was really going.
I thought the faucet had just been turned.
Yeah,
on. I really did. I thought Auburn was about to run them out of the gym.
Yeah, but you know, and again, I tell you this, I'm not going to take everything from UCL, man, because they did some things, man, that was great, and put themselves in position to win. You know.
Yeah, they were faster than I thought they'd be.
Yeah. And I think with us not starting off downhill with Kerryon Johnson being aggressive, because I was thinking we were just going to overpower them. You know, I thought it'd be competitive early, but at the game we're on, I thought we were just overpower them up front. But when we came out throwing the ball sideline to sideline, and that really plays, in my opinion, plays in the hand of a UCF. Mm-hmm. Not as big of a defense, but an athletic defense, because I think that's give them the advantage to fly and run to the ball. You know what I mean? So I think I was a bit shocked that we wasn't able to consistently just run it downhill at them.
Michael Sam.
That's
whose name we were trying to remember.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I want to talk to you a little bit about, do you keep up with the NFL at all?
I'm starting to.
You starting now? You spent some time in the NFL, though, right? How many years were you in there?
I went to camp with the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. I ended up getting hurt with the Ravens.
Yeah. So okay, you get hurt with the Ravens. How does that work? Do you get paid because you got hurt there?
Well,
how does that work?
Since I was a free agent and no money is invested, then you quicker to be released and and
then they don't owe you anything.
And I thought about
then you're just hurt.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But I mean, they don't get you a doctor's visit. They don't get you nothing.
It was over. Now I did have some more workouts. I worked out with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons, but I wasn't really with my injury. I wasn't really just back to full speed. And now I went to Canada. I went to Canada. And
how many years were you playing Canada?
I just went for the preseason.
Okay.
The guy ended up coming back. A guy who I was replacing, he went off to the NFL.
Yeah.
And he got cut from the NFL and came back. And so
So were you like keeping up with transaction wires, saying like, I hope he makes it, I hope he makes it, because?
No, I actually wasn't.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't, and I chose to leave Canada.
Did you like it? Too cold?
No, I liked it, but
they're friendlier.
It's just a tad bit different when you're not on the active roster and the practice squad. Is the money is extremely. It's not like the NFL practice squad.
What was it like living up there?
That was cool.
You liked it?
Yeah.
What city?
Now I didn't. I was in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Now I didn't get a chance to experience the cold weather.
You were there for the summertime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so with the practice squad, like I said, you don't get as paid as much, and so I made the decision to. That's when I started looking at my future and like I need to start trying to take advantage of the coaches that's in place at Auburn, and I wanted to get into coaching and with Malzahn, Travis Williams, those guys like that know me.
Are you hoping eventually maybe to work your way into coaching?
Oh, no question. No question.
Maybe at Auburn somehow, some way?
No question. Yeah.
Would you coach somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's coaching's coaching.
Yeah, I think it's vital for me though to be able to hang around Auburn and just establish the relationship with the coaches, especially the new guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know Coach Garner. I didn't know Coach Steele. You know what I'm saying? But now I have a relationship with those guys.
Yeah.
And so now it just makes your network, even better, because if they don't have anything to offer you, hopefully they may know a guy, they know a guy, and then they plug you in.
They'll vouch for you.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I know your buddies with Cam Newton still, and they have released their offensive coordinator and their quarterback coach. One of those guys being Mike Shula. Yeah, he's out of there. So I'm just interested to know what you think about that, what you think about Carolina as a whole, because I know there are a lot of Cam Newton fans around here, and they probably want to know what's going on with Carolina and what their future is going to hold. So we'll talk about that some when we come back with Sportz Blitz Live.
Is our number one concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Game day. Last season you were watching football at the mercy of that loathed cable company and your weird roommate with the ornery chinchilla. But today you're going to watch wherever the Wild you want. You go here, Wild Wing Cafe. They've got all the games on more screens than you can count. And cute roommates. This is just the Wild you need. So go wild, superfan. We can't help you choking QB, but we do have cold beer.
Gotta get to
Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
East Central Alabama asked for it, and Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoors has answered with the region's full-service Mahindra tractor and UTV dealer on Highway 280 in Alex City, next to Tallapoosa Ford. Full lines of Mahindra tractors, E-Max, Max 1500 series to 5500 series. We have the world's #1 tractor line. Get the job done as well with full lines of the world's toughest UTVs and accessories. Visit the all-new Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor in Alex City. True grit never taps out with Mahindra tractors, UTVs, and accessories.
What do you see when you think about your future?
Do you see determination that keeps you going, that helps you make a difference in your world?
Do you see challenges that make you stronger?
Southern Union State Community College realizes that your opportunities for greatness are unlimited. Your journey has just begun.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live. El Toro Freeman and Luke Robinson here. Thank you for being with us. I want to thank everybody who has joined us on Facebook Live. It's a lot of fun reading your comments and anything you guys want me to ask El Toro. I always think it's a great opportunity. We have him up here. I'm a big college football guy, obviously, and so even though I'm an Alabama fan, I could still talk to him about 2010 season, forever and ever. There's so many stories upon stories going back there. But he also spent a little time in the NFL, knows a little bit about that. He's still buddies with Cam Newton, and of course Carolina just got put out by the Saints. Did you watch any of that game last weekend?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Interesting to me, Drew Brees still getting it done, over 350 yards passing. I mean, he's pretty ridiculous at about 6 feet tall to be slinging the rock around like that,
Man, I tell you, man, that running back they have,
Kamara.
He's the real. Now, was he?
Now, you see, he started out at Alabama.
I heard that, I heard that.
He was part of the signing class. There was a class.
With Mark Ingram.
No.
Mark Ingram? Okay.
No, this was Alabama's running back class that year. Now, they had a kid out of Arkansas, Alti Tenpenny, and he ended up passing away. He was he transferred and he passed away. But Alvin Kamara started out in that class, Derrick Henry and Kenyon Drake and Alti Tenpenny.
Wow.
That's a ridiculous running back class. Now, only two of them ended up staying, Derrick Henry and Kenyon Drake, but both those guys are in the NFL, and Kamara's in the NFL killing it too. So
now what caused Kamara? Just playing time?
No, Kamara, look, I don't think I'm speaking out of school here, but he was not happy. He was not happy, and he was sort of a malcontent. And he actually there was a big recruiting weekend for Alabama, and he kind of badmouthed the Tuscaloosa and everything to these recruits.
Okay.
Almost cost Alabama some recruits.
Okay.
And I think everybody got wind of it, and it was just one of those things where you're better off leaving, we're better off with you leaving.
Right.
He went to a junior college and ended up at Tennessee. He said recently he didn't like his time at Tennessee either, but I think he's sort of gotten his mind right. Okay. Because it seems like he's gotten it kind of figured out in New Orleans. I'm pulling for him. I like it. Let me tell you what, he's a joy to watch.
Oh, no question.
He hits the hole pretty hard, man. And then you bring Ingram in too, and I'm glad that they finally are using him. Because look, Ingram's I'm not going to pretend he's the fastest guy ever or the best Heisman winner ever, but he's not a bad back. He's going to get you a couple yards.
Right.
He's going to fight.
I like that receiver too.
Michael Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like
he's good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the Saints a lot, and I'm hoping that the Saints and Falcons end up in the NFC Championship game. I think both of them are headed on the road this weekend. Saints to Minnesota and the Falcons to Philadelphia. But I love the Falcons' draw, even though they're the 6th seed. They get to go to Philadelphia without Carson Wentz, and they can go up there and get that victory, and then they may end up playing New Orleans in the Superdome for the right to go to the Super Bowl.
But it's just something about the Georgia teams, man, whether it's
There you go.
baseball, basketball, football.
You're
like,
right.
they just never seem to get it done.
They're
I mean, like,
this
they
short.
can't finish. You know what I mean? Like, so I would be surprised if what happened yesterday happens to the Falcons.
Well, it's already happened to the Falcons. Happened to them in the Super Bowl last year.
Right, yeah.
You lose a 28-3 lead in the third quarter in the NFL. That's hard to do.
Now, do you think the Patriots will be in the Super Bowl this year?
You know,
I'll tell you, every time I look at Belichick, I think of Nick Saban. I don't know why.
Because they both look like joyless cyborgs at times.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that. But I think both of them are wired so differently. Like, all they know to do is like a shark. A shark just knows to swim and eat. And it's pretty happy. I mean, it doesn't look happy, but it's probably pretty happy. That's not a bad life. And I think Nick Saban and Belichick only know how to coach football and win games.
Yep.
That's what they do. They don't want to stop.
Right.
And so Belichick, there was a rumor that he was going to hang it up, and he was like, what in the world are y'all talking about? I mean, that's so stupid. And he calls a spade a spade. I'm torn about it because I'm not necessarily the biggest New England fan. But
so what fan are you?
I don't have an NFL team really. I've always had somewhat of an affinity for the Packers because I love the way that their whole team is set up. People own stock in it.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Patriots, I'm scared. I don't want Tom Brady to leave. I'm very selfish in that way. A lot of people wanted Michael Jordan to retire when he hit the shot against Utah. I didn't. I want players to keep playing.
Right.
And I don't care that their shine is gone. Like, I love seeing them out there on the court. I liked it when Jordan came back for the Wizards. Didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I liked it when Brett Favre came back for the Vikings and the Jets.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it when Peyton Manning retired. It's because I look at the Colts now and Andrew Luck's not there and they're just blah. I want somebody there that we can wrap our arms around.
So you wanted him to stay in Indy? Instead of going to
Oh, yeah. I wanted him to. Now, I understood, you had a chance to draft Andrew Luck. And Luck, if you can keep Luck healthy, he's pretty talented.
Pretty good, yeah.
But I hate seeing sports icons retire.
Yeah.
I just think it changes everything. And I don't – the whole getting reacclimated to a new team is so difficult, and it seems like it takes forever. Alabama, post-Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
It's still something people go back to, but I want Florida State post Bobby Bowden. All these things just take time. Florida post
Steve Spurrier. Okay.
But now it was and Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
But they had to suffer through. Oh my gosh, I'm really, guys. I'm telling you, I've had about 2 hours sleep. Who coached Florida right after the guy? He coached Illinois. Really good recruiter. A little bit crazy. He coached at Florida in between Spurrier and Meyer. You do know. And
I can't think of it now.
I know.
You got to look that one up.
I know. All right, I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
And I know people out there are just saying, man, how do you even Florida head coach after Spurrier. I do the hunt and peck type system. But it starts with a Z.
I can't put it together.
Ron Zook.
Oh, man. Okay.
That was awful.
Yeah.
That was really terrible TV. I'm very sorry about that.
How long he coached there? 10 years. How long was
Ron
his
Zook was there, about 3 years?
Okay.
And he was a great recruiter.
Now, he was before Urban.
Yeah. See, you have to have the buffer guy.
Uh-huh.
You got to have the guy in between the guy. You don't want to be the guy who follows the coach. You want to be the guy who follows the guy who follows the coach. You know what I mean?
Now how was his years? How was his tenure?
Not very good.
Not very at all.
No. Now he recruited well. Now I'll tell you this, a little tidbit. He was the team that beat, when Saban won a national championship at LSU, Florida was the team that gave him their loss.
Okay.
That was the kind of guy he was. Ron Zook was kind of the guy that, he could beat anybody and he could lose to anybody. We've got to go to break. But, yeah, he coached Florida for, it looks like
3 years?
2002 to 2004. So, yeah, he was, and he was kind of a charismatic wild card kind of guy. But he was kind of like a thinner Ed Orgeron in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't believe you don't remember him.
I don't, man.
We're going to talk about him some more during the break. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn.
Needing extra space at your house? Check out Easy Storage Units on Tallapoosa Street, 1 mile from downtown Alex City. With state-of-the-art 24-hour surveillance, you can rest easy knowing all of your possessions will be safe and secure. Easy Storage has any size unit you need, from 5x10s up to 10x20s. Call Easy Storage today at 256-794-8223 to rent your unit today. That's Easy Storage, 256-794-8223.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service, always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Final segment of Sportz Blitz tonight. El Toro Freeman and Luke Robinson. Want to thank El Toro for filling in tonight, very last second. Our buddy Andy Graham, a little under the weather, and so hopefully he will be. Everybody's under the weather.
Yeah.
So
I got a little bug myself, man.
You got some things, and it's just, man, I'm telling you, all the holidays feel kind of weird this year.
Yeah.
That Monday, I mean, we probably say this every year about whatever day it is, but for a Monday, see, it gets funky, and long weekends turn into extra long weekends.
I tell you what, man, this has been one of the coldest winters than you know.
It really has been.
I mean, it's been woo.
And then, like right now, before I came over here, it was almost 60 degrees, which makes it even worse because you know it's about to turn again,
right.
And you know people's faucets are busted. And it's been a rough.
Been nasty.
It has been nasty, but you know the thing that I'm an anti-spring guy, and the reason is because spring lets me know like that's the furthest point away from real football.
Yeah.
Like at least now we still got pro football.
Yeah.
Right, and the Senior Bowl. I like the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Senior Bowl?
I did.
Did you get excited? Did you get invited?
I got invited to the NFLPA.
Did you go?
I didn't go.
Why?
Oh man, I was in North Carolina training, And it was a last-minute deal. It was like they called me and out of the blue. And
well, I cannot believe the Senior Bowl didn't invite you, though.
Yeah, I didn't go.
You would have gone to the Senior Bowl.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Senior Bowl is where it's at. That thing looks fun.
I think that would allow D Ford to go first round after his dumb.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we talk about here on this program all the time because we get to call the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game. And the best story that's ever come out of there, as far as I'm concerned, is Wallace Gilberry, you know, who played at Alabama.
Right.
And then he just retired.
Now, he played for years in the league.
Oh, at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's just real money, right? Pension-wise.
No question.
That's money for
a lifetime.
He's set.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but the whole reason he got an offer to Alabama is because at the time the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game was played in June, and he went to Mobile. He showed out. Alabama happened to have a scholarship, and Mike Sheila was just like, you know.
So they didn't offer him the whole season?
No, he didn't get offered until June. That's what I'm saying. And without that game, he doesn't get that offer.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows how things would have changed, but he turned out to be one of Alabama's more dominant players of that era.
Yeah.
Now, this is pre-Saban, but
right.
But he was an incredible story.
Yeah,
and
I remember him.
so that's like I love hearing about D Ford, you know, an Alabama guy.
Yeah.
He that plays high school in the state, and he goes to Auburn, and he does well there, and he's probably a little overshadowed. But you're right, he goes to Senior Bowl
and dominates.
He does some things, and it turns some things around.
Yeah. Quick.
There are some famous folks down there at that Senior Bowl.
Oh, no question.
Every single year. Well, Toro, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Appreciate you filling in for our buddy Andy Graham.
Not a problem.
We will catch you guys again Tuesday, and you'll probably be on the Auburn Blitz sometime this week, won't you?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, he'll be on the Auburn Blitz tomorrow at lunchtime.
Tune
Check him
in.
out on Facebook Live. We'll catch you next time on Sportz Blitz Live.